Drag with Remedy. Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and thinly masked confessions, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with The Invisible Man from Punch the Clock, released in 1983. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello. As charming and as raw as any of his 500 plus gems that have come before and since, The Invisible Man calls upon humor and false identities to cope with fading from one world while languishing provocatively in another starry-eyed version of the same life. It features a rare use of the first person that doesn't then spiral into the outside looking in, accusatory second person point of view. Within the walls of this piece, there is a consistent, unflinching narrative that seems less oblique and more heartfelt. And then again, I might just be an old softie. I was committed to life and then commuted to the outskirts with all the love in the world, living for 30 minutes at a time with a break in the middle for adverts. But it's a wonderful world within these cinema walls where a shower of affection becomes Niagara Falls, and you wish you could step down from the screen to your seats in the stalls. Skirts and adverts, cinema walls and Niagara Falls. Add in your seats in the stalls and you have a rich and informative first verse set to a lilting A-A-B-B-B rhyme scheme. It doesn't stop there, of course. Expertly placed alliteration, such as committed, commuted, flow effortlessly with minutes and middle to give it a delightful, humming feel that draws you in immediately. What's framed is a pastoral story with a sinister bent to it. There's nothing more deadly than a workaday world, now is there? 'Cause if stars are only painted on the ceiling above, then who can you turn to and who do you love? I want to get out while I still can. I want to be like Harry Houdini. Now I'm the invisible man. There's a lovely double meaning trickling through this chorus from the verse just before it. Movie stars and celestial bodies, both sparkly and both seemingly just out of reach. Who can you turn to after an illusion shows itself? Truly, who can you love? My head is spinning around faster and faster. Here I stand on the edge of disaster. I'm shattered like a piece of crystal, porcelain, or alabaster. Oh my God, those fabulous three little words, crystal, porcelain, alabaster. If you weren't in love with Elvis Costello lyrics before, I'll go out on a limb and hazard that that's all it took to finally hear the genius. Faster, disaster, and shattered give those three little words a combustible launch pad in which to reach the outer stratosphere of pop music. This fantastic bridge comes as if it were programmed to do so, just like the break in the middle, wouldn't you say? 'Cause the stars are only painted on the ceiling above, then who can you turn to and who do you love? I want to get out while I still can. With the repeat of the chorus comes a second time the question of who can you turn to and who can you love has come up. So if the first verse spoke of personal ethos and domestic life, then perhaps the next verse explores something far less personal, far more worldly. Clouds surround loudspeakers hanging from the lampposts, listening to the murder mystery. Meanwhile, someone's hiding in the classroom, forging the books of history. Never mind, there's a good film showing tonight where they hang everybody who can read or write. Oh, but that could never happen here. But then again, it might. What could be thought of as a soap opera world in the beginning of this piece can only sustain the narrator for so long, it seems. The news washes away any dreamy feeling found in the first verse. The narrator goes much further in just a few steps. There's a whisper of a public execution that blends into the notion of revisionist history and how we so often turn a blind eye. Domestic unrest and world unease. What more could we ask for in a scant 262 words? There's a tingly callback feeling to 1978's Night Rally from this year's model in this verse that singes the edge of this piece, in part due to its corporate overlord vibe, I suppose, although it's far less personal, with no love in its world. Then, of course, there's that lovely bonus song from Imperial Bedroom, recorded a year before Punch the Clock and released a year after it was released. It's a flirty little piece that blames the second party. You're determined to make me as miserable as you can, going on to say that you're like Harry Houdini or the Invisible Man. If we wanted to play connect the dots, we could, but let's not go as deep as Imperial Bedrooms. There's a stranger in the house. That's for another time and another story. Trust that there is always a backlog of Elvis Costello phrases that go through my mind on a daily basis. Often included in this joyous reverie is a quote from I Turn Around that never goes begging. Count to 10 and then down again. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's simple, provocative, delightful. When people blather on about poetry touching their souls, I'm always slightly tempted to direct him to this little gem. What exactly does it mean? It is as profound as any line was ever been written. Dig it. Again, this has been a slow drag with The Invisible Man from 1983's Punch the Clock. With one of the most exhilarating bridges imaginable, the one about crystal porcelain and alabaster. This piece sets itself apart by its seemingly vulnerability and sensitivity toward the two worlds that make up the private and public lives of the famous and not so famous. At its core, it's a delightful song that stays just within our grasp, just far enough to keep us pondering it. Oh, and of course, trying to sing along with the potential tongue twister that it affords. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. Other gems from Punch the Clock you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episodes 11, Blow the Whistle on the Whole Design. It's a slow drag with King of Thieves. Episode 38 is Tribute of a Rose. It's a very much needed slow drag with The Greatest Thing. And episode 60, Sotto Voce. It's a slow drag with Charm School. I'm so happy to be back after a long time away. You can find me on social media in all the usual places. Just search for my name, Remedy Robinson, or the name of my podcast, Slow Drag with Remedy. Also, please visit slowdragwithremedy.com for companion blogs, transcripts, and other useful information. And as always, thank you so much for helping to get the word out about this little passion project. Truly, It means the world. We'll be back soon with another slow drag. So, until next time, adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with remedy.